up, drone heads? This is going to be kind of like a review slash rebuild video. This video is for either somebody who's thinking about getting into the X-Class game, the Mega game, or if you're just looking for a new frame or something like that, or if you're not ready or you're not really ready to take that leap into the Mega X-Class drones and you just want to look and see what things are about, you know, just live vicariously, if you will. So that's kind of really who this might appeal to. It's nothing advanced. I've only really had my X-Class for about a year now. We're not going to really be installing any components or anything like that. It's just going to be a frame swap. So I kind of blasted one of my frames a couple weeks ago in a race. So hopefully I need to take the components and just swap them out to a new frame. So I figured this would be a good time to just document that process and talk a little bit about the frame from Mayday Quadworks while I do it. I think that's it. So let's hop over to the bench and I'll kind of walk you through a little bit of that frame swap. All right, here we go. We got the brain here. All right, so this is the brain of our drone. We just got to get a new body for it. So as I mentioned, I had the Fusion X, and then I'm swapping it to another Fusion X, but this one's an upgraded version. So I'll talk about the two main things, I guess, that is upgraded. The first and biggest thing is that on the frame that I broke, the arms, this was the old model of the Fusion X, so they were cylindrical arms. I mean, you guys can tell with the round arms, you already might be expecting that, you know, it could be prone to twist or turn or anything like that. But I actually never really had that problem. The only time I ever experienced a arm twisting was, well, in a crash, but you kind of got bigger worries once that comes around. I think the biggest issue with me with the round arms was when I was building it. It was kind of a hassle to, when you have your motor mounts here and you've got the arm in through the round one, to keep it level, or I guess make sure that the motors were level from arm to arm with these round mounts. But so on the frame, or the arms that I just broke, they were cylindrical and had these round clamps. What I'm going to switch to today is the updated version with the octagonal arms. So you can get a good look at these and see that this one may spin, but you know, this one's not going to. So this one's going to be locked in, secure in place. There's another really big improvement with this, or some of the hardware you get. You get these 3D printed ESC holders or guards, whatever you want to call them, and then these little pieces that I'll show you what they're for in just a moment. You get these also. So when you put your screws up underneath the base plate here, they're going to go through both the ESC guard and these two pieces here, these 3D printed pieces, and it's going to help hold the screws in place while you're assembling it, or while you're getting your arms on. With the other model, with the other clamps and the round arms, it was kind of a hassle sometimes, because your screws would just keep falling. They would just want to slide right back out beneath the base plate. So the octagonal arms, these new 3D printed pieces, that's kind of a big improvement. The next one is the canopy change. So this is the canopy from the one that I just wrecked. I've kind of filed out here just for a bigger camera lens for the Runcam Eagle Micro, but kind of has the cool, like, I always thought it looked like a squid or something, so I named mine the Kraken when I got this. But here's the canopy from the kind of the prior version, or the one that I just crashed. The updated one is here. All right, so this will be the canopy I'm switching to now. The biggest difference between these two canopies is that the newer one has, and this is pretty convenient, a place to access the GoPro on the side without having to take the canopy off. So here we had our GoPro mount right here, but if you wanted to access your footage, you had to take the canopy off. It didn't take too long, but I'm pretty excited now with this one that I don't have to take the canopy off whenever I want to download my footage. I'll just put it right here on the side. And then of course the other difference is that with the new top plate, All right, when we put our top plate on, this canopy is actually going to screw down up here. All right, so I'm pretty sure those are the changes, or those are the upgrades. When I was kind of finishing taking apart this drone after I crashed it, taking the motors off or disconnecting all the motors and stuff like that, I was thinking I might just have to take all the stuff off and put it on the new base plate, but I checked here's the base plate from the new frame, but I checked all the holes and the drill outs and they're pretty much identical. So I can just leave or keep this same base plate from my old frame, and then I'll just assemble the rest of the new frame as I go. So what we'll do is I'll kind of maybe walk through assembling one of these arms here, or yeah, one of the ESC protectors, one of the arms, what have you, and then, you know, kind of cut to whenever I finish. But so we can take one of our screws that they give us, or actually we'll take 4 and we'll insert them up from the bottom here. All right, so 2 there, another one here. I remember when I first got when I first started building the X-Class frame, I was like, well, where are the standoffs, or what kind of standoffs am I supposed to use with this thing? But the arms themselves act as the standoffs, as you guys will see. All right, so after we put our screws in, we're going to start with one of our clamps. All right, so these clamps together will kind of form one holder for the arm. So we'll start with the bottom one, and we'll slide that over the 2 screws here. All right, take another one down here. Yep. All right, now what we'll do next is take the ESC holder, and there's 2 holes here. So what I was telling you about earlier, it kind of grips that screw for you. So we'll slide that on here. All right, so that's nice and snug there. And we'll take, so we have these other little 3D printed pieces, and you see there's a place for the screw to go up through here. And if you look at these clamps, they're kind of inset or indented, if you will, or concave, so that the this little 3D printed piece here, it'll kind of match up, and I don't know, it's like geometry, right? So it'll end up forming a straight edge here, and the screw goes up through all that. Anyway, so let's put it on here. We'll take one down here, and so these little pieces, they only go on the opposite side from the ESC. So we'll put another one here, and now we can finish off and put the top portion on. All right, when you're putting this top clamp on, you may need to squeeze these 2 sides together to get it to go down in there. I'm just going to leave that with a little bit of space for now, so I can slide the arm in a little more easily. Let's get our second one. All right, so we got our 2 clamps finished, the bottoms and tops of each. So we fed the inside right to our ESC guard. I might have to get a little bit of pressure up there, so I'll mount the ESC to this little guard here, and then we have these little 3D printed pieces. They're over here on the back side, right? Let's see. All right, so once you get these 2 sets of clamps finished here with the bottom and the tops, like I said, I'll just leave a little bit of space, and you'll take your arm and just feed it through as best you can. All right, and then we'll slide it through here. I don't know exactly kind of how far you should feed it through, what the cutoff is. What I just do is I'll put, what's that, maybe about 1 centimeter past. So maybe I'll push the arm in just 1 centimeter past this inside clamp, and you know, call it a day and then tighten it down like that. Just whatever you're going to do, make sure that A, your props aren't going to be hitting on the outside, and then that all the arms are, you know, equal or symmetrical as you push them through. But like I said, maybe about a little centimeter here. Yeah, and so we've got our ESC tucked up against the guard on the underside over here. And well, I'll take this arm back out because I'm not gonna, I'll wait and install them once I finish all these clamps. But let's see, maybe let's do this one just one more real quick. So let's get 4 of our screws. All right, run that up here, this one up. Alright, we're going to see if we can get all these underneath here without playing the juggle game. You see when I'm talking about these screws kind of wanting to fall through? That's what's really convenient about these ESC guards and the other pieces, that it holds them once you get them underneath. Alright, so we've got all our screws fed up through here. Let's go ahead and we got to put our bottom clamps on first. So let's put this way, and the bottom goes with the, you know, the bottom flush to the base plate, and then you just got to remember that once you put the other one on, it's going to be the reverse direction. All right, so we'll put our clamp here. All right, slide that down. All right, then we'll throw our ESC protector right here. Feed that one through that screw. Feed this one over here. All right, and then on this side, we'll take 2 of our kind of these TPU pieces, feed the screw up through here, and then same thing back here. All right, take our top pieces, and remember, we won't put those all the way down, so we'll have some space for the arm to come through. Again, you may need to kind of give a little bit of, you want to make sure your screws are all the way through. You might even need to, yeah, what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to pause for a second and screw these up with the hex driver, just to make sure that the screws are flat against the base here, so that it's easy for me to put the top clamp on. So just 1 second. All right, so that's what I did, is I just screwed in these bolts down here to make sure they were flush against the base plate, and that the bottom of these bottom clamps were flush as well. So now that they are, it should be a little bit easier to go ahead and put that top clamp on. All right, so we'll set that there for now, leave a little space. Same thing back here. All right, so now that we got our clamp set up here, you know, these are ready just to feed the arms through and then finish tightening them down, put the top plate on and everything. So we'll go ahead and finish that up for these over here and cut back to when it's done. All right, just a quick update. I've finished, you know, I've got all the ESC guards and clamps, everything in position, you know, just ready to finish up and put the top plate on and get my components and everything attached back. So just wanted to show you what it looks like here. What I'm going to do next is, if you look at these ESC guards, there's a, you know, a little indentation here at the top of each one. So I'm going to take a moment now just to go ahead and secure all the ESCs against them with some zip ties, and we'll come right back. All right, so I went ahead and tightened up or secured my ESCs with some zip ties to the holders. So those are nice and snug. And then I put the top plate on. So with this frame, it comes with a nice TPU printed couch for both your FPV camera. All right, so I'll need to install that back in just a second. So that'll sit right in here. And then for your GoPro as well, this sits right on the couch here. And then out the back, that's where I'll run my VTX. So my SMA cable will go through here. Then I'll attach my antenna and just secure down my video transmitter right here. So I fed up the connector here for my VTX right there. Here's the connector for my camera. Once we get that settled in, or well, I'm gonna put this back on, secure it down, and then we'll put our arms in, tighten that all up, finish tightening these bolts here, get everything nice and secure, put our canopy on, and when we come back, it should be done, ready to go.